At www.spreaker.com, create your own radio show and find thousands of exclusive radio channels.
Hi guys, we're live with tonight's episode of the wrestling show I do. Finally, managed to secure CJ to do it.
Honor, it's an honor.
Has finally come back from his holiday, but CJ being CJ sadly injured himself last night, but he's pressing on like the brave soldier he is.
Oh, ridiculous.
Anyway, jumping straight into it, as tonight seems to be yet again a busy show, we will review Raw as per usual, which started off with Big Show, well, by disqualification, albeit defeating CM Punk.
Who was the heel in that match? I don't know.
I have no idea, to be honest. I think it was out and out monster heel versus tweener heel. But obviously Daniel Bryan interfered, which cost Big Show the match. Well, cost CM Punk the match, should I say. But then Cena came out being Cena and cleared the ring, which set up for the tag match announced for later. But what did you think of that match?
It was alright. It was an opener overall. So, that's how I describe that match.
Yeah.
I only just found out then that Daniel Bryan is now saying no.
Yeah, I think he was just giving him some TV time. He's obviously trying to throw himself in with the big boys.
And it was quite funny when he was yelling at the commentators. That was quite funny as well.
Yeah. But yeah, my thoughts on that. I was a bit surprised to see that as an opening match because that's something WWE would usually friggin' main event with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What WrestleMania was it when? Was it the world title match or something?
Which one are you talking about?
I can't even remember. I think it was 26.
Well, what?
WrestleMania 26, I can't remember who it was, but it was the world title opened the show.
Well, the World Heavyweight Championship opened WrestleMania 28.
Oh, maybe it was 28 then.
Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28. More recently. But yeah, obviously, what did you think of the tag match then announced for later on, which obviously saw Cena and Punk tagging against Daniel Bryan in the Big Show? What did you think of the match announcement?
As soon as I saw that Cena came out, I just knew someone was going to come out. But I just thought when AJ was announced as the general manager, I just thought she was going to be just for that week. And find out she was a permanent general manager.
Yeah, it was a very interesting decision, but to be fair, as far in the Raws I've seen, I can't really fault the management. It's all been decent stuff. Obviously, that's not her that's making the decisions. It's corporate telling her what to do. Then after that, moving on, we had a segment where JTG was backstage bitching about not getting any time to impress, and then he mentioned it's crazy, which saw AJ get pissed off and then give him a match against none other than Ryback.
I just heard him there as well, and I thought that was awful.
Just another waste of time. Well, not waste of time jobber match. JTG would be sacked.
Even though I do like to see his opponents now actually attacking Ryback now, rather than just getting thrown about.
Yeah, but it doesn't last long, does it? Always ends the same way. Obviously, I don't
They
know.
said my turn twice, which I thought was quite good.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard. He also had new theme music this week.
Yeah, I said I heard that, and then awful. Awful.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest, to be honest with you. So, quickly moving on from that, we had the decision that Raw Active this week would be that you could either pick The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, or Chris Jericho to be in the guest in Piper's Pit, which in itself made no fucking sense. They were just cramming legend appearances in. I suppose it makes it up to Roddy Piper when they hardly featured him on the 1000th Raw, so let's just give him a random appearance on Raw 4 weeks later.
And I don't like the Raw Active or the fact that they changed it to the WWE Universe.
Yeah. It's why don't it's not a bad idea, but it's rigged all the time, I'm sure of it. But some of the things they've done has been good, but like this to me made no sense. Again, I'm not complaining to see the Hot Rod, but it made no sense that he was just suddenly backstage. It's like, what, does he live there or something? And this week you decided, let's give him TV time. But obviously after that, you got anything to say, sorry?
No, I just think I just agree with you, I just think it's stupid how they just gave him a run for appearance.
Then obviously, after that, we had R-Truth versus Heath Slater, which, again, Heath Slater getting TV time I'm all for, but why against R-Truth? What purpose does he serve? Jobbing to R-Truth? I have no idea.
What is it? I don't really understand that though, because I faced Scotty 2 Hotty at NXT, which is a returning legend, but then they face him against R-Truth. And then Randy Orton actually earned that.
Yeah.
As well.
In the 3 weeks since the 1000th Raw, he returned Randy Orton, did nothing for a week, and then last night faced R-Truth.
I just think it was to get him attacked by PTP.
It's just giving him TV time, really, but it served no purpose. What has making R-Truth involved in that match and win served his career, really? He's a tag team champion. What the fuck has it got to do with Heath Slater?
To give both of them, to give R-Truth, to give five-time players a chance to attack R-Truth.
Yeah, but that's all it served. You could get anyone to do that. Get Jinder Mahal or some fucking random jobber to do that. Heath Slater should have really been put over by R-Truth in that match, if anything, but then it would have derailed the tag team champ momentum, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously, as you mentioned, I was going to go on to say R-Truth was attacked by the primetime players after the match, but no AW, obviously, you've heard about that.
Something about Kobe.
Oh, well, I could talk for a while. I don't know what you've missed, but AW made a controversial joke about Kobe Bryant sexually assaulting someone, and 2 weeks later he was fired.
Oh, well.
So...
But why were they using him as another thing? They've got like at least 3 before AEW got fired. At least 3 trained wrestlers that we're not using. Because you got Conor Rodriguez, AEW before he got fired. AJ is one of them actually. I'm trying to think of who else. There's a few others, I think.
No idea, to be honest with you.
Tense, like Manny.
Is Sakamoto an actual trained wrestler?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. Yeah, but that was obviously just used, as you've mentioned, to give primetime players an excuse to attack R-Truth, because Kofi Kingston wasn't there on Monday for some reason, whatever reason that may be. I don't know, but moving on from that, we had an absolute car wreck of something that incredibly pissed me off. DJ Paulie D announced on Twitter as Raw's social media ambassador. What the absolute fuck? I'm glad that he got booed because at least some people in the audience had sense. Shoving some random cunt that's famous for nothing off a TV show. Yeah, some people enjoyed it, but what the hell has he got to do with wrestling? I mean, what the hell has Charlie Sheen got to do with wrestling for that matter? But at least I personally like Charlie Sheen. I personally hate Paulie D.
But Charlie Sheen didn't really have anything to do with it either. Was that just for one episode though?
On the 1000th Raw, he just chatted to fucking Cole and Lawler for a little bit on stuff. It was like, obviously high out of his mind, promoting his anger management show, and then abusing Daniel Bryan. That's all he did, really.
It was quite funny.
So obviously moving on from that, which annoyed me, unless you've got anything further to add on that.
No, I don't think so.
We had Sin Cara, or Botch Cara, defeating Tensai. Again, they've turned someone that was meant to be a monster heel into someone that fucking jobs to random people.
Off to the mid-card.
An absolute waste. I really hope Tensai's future endeavoured very soon because it's just an absolute pointless thing. I don't know if you heard, but he got in trouble for racist remarks over that tout a few weeks back. He made fun of the Japanese. Yeah, do you remember?
No. What did he say?
He made fun of the Japanese, like he pulled his eyes back and made a joke.
Isn't he meant to be trained by the Japanese though?
Exactly, that was the entire stupidity of the segment from Matt Bloom.
Oh, that's funny.
It was quickly removed, but obviously not quick enough as a lot of people saw it, and again, that's just Matt Bloom and his entire wisdom. Let's offend the people where I made my name. But obviously after that, I don't know if you've been noticing, but Tensai once again beat up Sakamoto. He seems to do every week when he loses. It's not really his fault that he's being told by creative to job.
He's not even jobbing, he's just standing there getting battered.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people he jobs to do fuck all after it. He loses to Tyson Kidd. Tyson Kidd gets put in the Money in the Bank match. Tyson Kidd does well in the Money in the Bank match. Disappears for 2 weeks. Comes back. Beats Tensai again. Disappears again. Does that mean Sin Cara's not going to appear for a few weeks now? Is that his way of kayfabe injuring?
Right, 1 second, someone's just coming to me.
No worries. But, well, obviously CJ's dealing with that. I'll move on to mention the Piper's Pit segment, which came up next. But I should mention that Chris Jericho was supposedly voted by the Raw WWE Universe and the Raw Active selection to be in the pit, which was the right choice, really. So it was obviously always going to happen. But then we had him talking to Piper again, doing a bit of a good promo segment. But we had Ziggler and The Miz come down, gobbing off, crashing the Piper's Pit, so to speak, before Chris Jericho cleared the ring, got a bit of momentum, build it back up before obviously SummerSlam. But are you back? No, we still got CJ away, so I shall carry on to mention that straight after that match we had the triple threat announced, which was a good move in my opinion. Good to see 3 very good competitors in the ring in a triple threat non-title match on Raw. Before it went to 3 hours, that kind of thing would never have been seen on a Raw broadcast, so that's where the 3-hour benefit comes into play, because they put on quite a good matchup throughout. To be fair, it was impressive. Made all 3 of them look quite strong, and obviously Ziggler picking up the momentum and the win, with a bit of help from his manager, Vicky Guerrero, at one point, because Jericho, I believe it was, had the win in the bag before Vicky moved Dolph's leg onto the ropes. But eventually, Dolph used his leg drop finisher on Jericho to pick up the win. Miz was nowhere to be found. Again, Miz being the champion and losing. but give Dolph Ziggler some momentum, building up to SummerSlam. He's definitely getting some kind of push currently. So as being Money in the Bank, he looks to have bettered Jericho quite a few times. But as we still wait for see. Pardon?
Sorry about that.
It's okay, I've just basically ran through what happened on the Piper's Pit and the Triple Threat being announced. Obviously, you saw that. What did you think, firstly, of Piper's Pit?
Correct.
It was
Correct is all I have to say about it.
yeah, it was an alright segment, I thought. What about the matchup announced afterwards, the Triple Threat match?
Saw that coming really again. Can you just tell me that? Come on.
Just alright, yeah. Something I'll just briefly mention with no need to go into detail on. Divas champion Layla and Catalin defeated Eve and Beth Phoenix, with Catalin picking up the win. But Eve and Beth Phoenix attacking each other by an hour, and then just a win picked up by Catalin on Beth Phoenix. That's all I'm saying on the matter. I'm sure CJ agrees with me.
Yeah.
Moving on to that, we had then the tag match that was announced earlier in the show, which is the CM Punk and Super Cena against Big Show and Daniel Bryan, which Super Cena and Punk won, with Super Cena picking up the win.
1 second.
No worries. But obviously CJ will be back briefly, but again I'll just carry on to say Cena won with the attitude adjustment on Daniel Bryan after frolics between both teams refusing to agree with each other and be on the same side, as Shaw walked away from Daniel Bryan at one point, and Shaw had the match won supposedly, just setting up for the WMD before Bryan tagged himself in, so which Shaw just walked off and sat down near the announcer table. And then on CM Punk and John Cena's side, we had CM Punk and John Cena disagreeing a little bit again, with Punk just walking off and leaving Cena in, but Cena dealt with the situation as he picked up the pinfall with the AA and the pin on Daniel Bryan. But then after that, obviously Punk had his title belt in hand, and Big Show looked to attack Cena from behind while Cena was celebrating in the corner. But CJ's back again. I was just saying, right at the end of the match, where Punk nails Big Show with a title belt, and then offers to shake Cena's hand, but Cena refuses. What did you think of the match, first of all, then, CJ?
I can't really explain it. The match was average.
Yeah.
Well, it was quite good with the tagging in, like, and them imitating each other at the end as well. That was funny. But apart from that, it was average, and then the ending I was really surprised about.
Yeah. But then, obviously, what did you think of the ending to it, in which Cena refusing to shake Punk's hand? What did you think of that?
Cena being Cena. Well, actually, no, it's not Cena being Cena. It's actually doing some digital move. Making him, like, heel, sort of.
Well, that's what I said. I wondered what the hell that were, but because CM Punk's more heel than he is face, obviously it's making him keep up with the face tradition.
Yeah.
But again, that was one of the more fucked up Raws in recent weeks. That was surely meant to be the main event. But then after that, we had a strange Damien Sandow versus Christian matchup, which you don't go from 4 of your biggest stars, 3 of them in the main event and 1 of them in a big matchup on the SummerSlam card, to then Damien Sandow not jobbing, because Damien Sandow picked up the win, but Christian putting over Damien Sandow.
What is poor Christian? No, I've got to say. He loses his title, goes missing I think. Did he go missing after that?
He doesn't appear regularly, but he just seems to be putting people over in recent weeks. But saying that, the person that beat him for the title, The Miz, just seems to be losing every week with the title.
He seems to be losing before he got the title as well.
There's no credibility to WWE's title belts in the moment. The joke that is Santino Marella holding the USA and the Intercontinental losing every week. Just no credibility with the Intercontinental and USA belts. But obviously, to mention in that match, we had Brodus Clay coming down to try and distract Sandow, which did lead to Christian hitting a good move, but Sandow kicked out and hit his finisher to pin Christian for the 1-2-3, which was obviously Christian putting Sandow over to a point because they're trying to push Sandow, obviously making him take out Brodus Clay, which I'm sure a lot of people are agree with.
Hopefully he gets injured, like properly injured, so he can't react.
Well, I wouldn't wish injury on someone, but I do wish his kayfabe put on the shelf for a while so we don't see him for quite a bit. But yeah, Sandow, Christian, any thoughts on that match?
No, not really. Well, Christian just jobbing. To be honest, I really thought that was. Which is a weird thing to say because it wasn't a jobbing, it was just a match for Sandow.
Yeah. Yeah, true. Then we had what was in the last couple of minutes of this part of the show. We'll talk about, I suppose, the main event of this week's Raw. We had the Shawn Michaels looking to leave and then be blocked off by Paul Heyman's car in the car park, which made no sense at first, but I knew exactly what was coming. Brock Lesnar then takes Shawn Michaels out of his car and ambush him.
Yeah.
To which either was then carried away, which, again, to the ring, which why the fuck would you do that if you're ambushing someone? I know, let's take him where everyone will see me in the middle of the ring on television. And then obviously, him putting the Kimura lock on Shawn Michaels and breaking his arm. Kayfabe, of course, which we all expected.
Yeah. Does he break everyone's arm when he puts the Kimura on?
Yeah, that's kind of his thing. He didn't break John Cena's arm, obviously. They couldn't have Cena off TV for that long. It'd cripple the company. But
I say, steroid-induced Super Cena, there's no way he could break his arm.
yeah. But then obviously we had Triple H trying to defend. Sorry, we had Triple H trying to defend Shawn Michaels, which again led nowhere. Shawn Michaels even angrily pushed Triple H away when he got injured. But what did you think of that whole segment?
Just another Brock Lesnar segment with Triple H, really.
Monster heel push for Brock Lesnar and
Yeah.
Triple H trying to be made to look strong and Shawn Michaels just being fucking injured. Adds fuel to the fire for Sunday, to be honest, which we'll talk about in the next part of the show. I should also mention, though, we had the Triple H and Brock Lesnar contract signing just previous to that, which obviously is how we managed to get the Shawn Michaels trying to leave the arena thing going, because Triple H didn't appear as he was supposedly late all night. So Shawn Michaels had to come out himself and deal with Lesnar before finally Triple H's music hit.
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
just
he actually wasn't it, though. It wasn't just stage.
I'm not too sure whether that was, but obviously adding more fuel to the fire eventually. Both men signed it. Triple H signed it and then Lesnar signed it and threw it at Triple H just to be a big hard man that he is. Before leaving the ring, which again led on to the, as I mentioned, the ambush in the parking lot of the car park for us English people. Well, British people. That's pretty much Raw in its entirety for this upcoming week, which was Monday, obviously. We've got a couple of minutes left. Obviously it's 10 o'clock now, and then we can 5 minutes of this part and we'll move on to the next part. But how quickly can we get this SummerSlam official roster reveal done, do you think, CJ?
SummerSlam official roster.
Sorry, not SummerSlam, I apologise. I know it's SummerSlam Fan Access. I mean WWE 13 roster. I apologise.
Yeah, I'll get that in a minute.
So
Whenever.
we'll have that in part 2 then, shall we?
Yeah.
Well, in these couple of minutes I have then, I'll put to you a couple of questions that I ask most of my guests that come on here. Firstly, how did you get into wrestling and at what age?
Probably.
How and at what age? Like, how old were you?
I don't know. It was apparently, well, got the math, so apparently it was around 2000. I doubt that though, but still.
Well, anything's possible, I suppose.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? What was it that got you into wrestling?
My dad was watching it, and I got one and something apparently.
One of the more interesting stories.
Sounds like what I would do.
It's one of the more interesting stories I've had on air, but I expected nothing else from you. Moving on from... What's that, sorry?
I was trying to think of when I actually remember watching it first, but it was probably in 2005, I can't remember what match it was. But, yeah, that's the only one I remember when I first ever got into it.
Yeah, that's fair enough then. What's your favourite wrestling moment ever?
It's a hard one. Should I do two? One from ECW, one from WWE.
Yeah, be my guest.
Spike Dudley getting thrown into the crowd by a Bam Bam Bigelow in ECW. Oh, that was funny. He just crowd surfed around. And then the other one was Dudley powerbombing Mae Young off the stage through a table.
Both good moments.
Quite savage the second one, this one.
Another question. What is the best match you have ever watched?
Oh, no. I'm trying to think actually. Oh, it's probably like very obvious, but Sabu versus Terry Funk in the World Title match. I just love that match.
Sounds quite brutal.
It was. I looked at it anyway. I think Funk had to get a blood transfusion.
I remember the infamous match between Buell McGillicuddy and I can't remember who, but he had to get a blood transfusion. Yeah, that's it.
That was funny. He had to get a blood transfusion. Oh, thank you.
I do remember that match. Last minute or so for this part. One last question I should touch upon. What WWE wrestlers do you think would be able to do well in UFC?
That's a difficult one. Probably Big Show, actually.
Probably who?
Big Show.
Big Show?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I've heard positive for Big Show in quite a long time. Anybody else?
Brock Lesnar.
Well, of course, Brock Lesnar. Just for jokes, let's say Super Cena.
I don't think he'd be able to do well, to be honest.
No, he wouldn't at all. He would struggle.
actually don't think there's anyone else in WWE just now.
I should mention that that last question was credited to Liam Reynolds. Obviously, he gave me that one, but I liked it so much I wanted to make it a permanent question for all my guests. That's all we have time for this first part. Obviously, I was my guest CJ Thompson, and we're back with the second part very soon.
This is Spreaker Web Radio.
One. Right, and we're back with the second part of tonight's show, and I'm very lucky to be joined by CJ Thompson once again. CJ?
Yeah, I'm going to do the roster now, so it's a bit behind.
Are you ready? Is the official WWE 13 roster list announced now as by CJ?
Big Show, Booker T, Brock Lesnar, FI, Team Cena, Extreme Rules, Brodus Clay with the Funk Capitals, Jericho, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Daniel Bryan, David Otunga, Super, Edge, Kali, and the ring collapse after he suplex Big Show off the top rope.
Interesting.
Later, Kuniko on his bike. That's awesome. Swagger. JBL.
JBL, fantastic.
John Cena, Doctor of Economics.
Oh, that's
John
good.
Laurinaitis.
Oh, God.
Dustin Gabriel. Kane. Kevin Nash. Ooh, he is in it.
Kevin Nash. Kane, man.
Kingston. Henry. Miz. Primo. Orton. Oh, he just RKO'd after throwing jump on John Cena.
John Cena celebrating in the ring.
That's just some so far.
That's the normal, I presume, superstars.
Not all of them, just some of them.
Yeah, but I mean, the like normal half of the
Right.
normal like superstars, not the Attitude Era or anything like that.
Yeah. It's about to go to some more than that.
Yeah, and then obviously from there, right? Are you ready? Are you ready with part 2 for us?
No, not yet. Wait.
Well, I've got part 2 up now. If you want me to go with it.
Yeah, if you want, just go.
And here's another batch of superstars announced for the game, starting with Iron Mike Tyson.
Knew he was going to be in it.
Obviously, a little promo of him knocking people out with his right fist. Road Warrior Animal. Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man is here.
Woo.
Billy Gunn.
Yes.
Bradshaw of the Acolytes. Bret the Hitman Hart. British Bulldog. Cactus Jack. Chris Jericho, Y2J, Attitude Era. Christian of Edge and Christian, Attitude Era. Dude Love.
Yes.
Eddie Guerrero. Edge of Edge and Christian of the Attitude Era. Farouk of the Acolytes. The Godfather. Road Warrior Hawk. Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Kane Masked Attitude. Ken Shamrock. Mankind. Mark Henry of the Nation of Domination. Mr. McMahon. The Big Show, Paul White, Road Dogg, Jesse James. The Rock. And The Rock's showing rock bottom Steve Austin through his table. Little promo there. Shane McMahon. Shawn Michaels of D-Generation X. Triple H of D-Generation X. The Undertaker. Obviously shown putting Mankind through a table off the Hell in a Cell. Obviously made famous of King of the Ring 1999. Vader. X-Pac. Lita. Stephanie McMahon.
My prediction is going quite well.
Trish Stratus, or Status, whatever you say. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Surely there's a promo there.
And that's all for now. I believe that's the Attitude Era. But as it seems, I believe, unless they've got anything up their sleeve, that's both the Attitude Era and the Normal Era.
There's going to be videos as well.
Oh yeah, there'll be DLCs released, but I mean in the opening game, I believe.
No, Divas, I said.
Oh, possibly, yeah. Possibly, but there will be, I'm just mentioning, there will obviously be DLCs.
Yeah.
Just monitoring if there's any more to be announced, but what do we think of what we've seen so far then, CJ? Starting with the normal roster.
Alright. I'm glad I put more nights in it, actually. Probably the only one. Now, we've got him in the wrestling gear as well as the and just apart from that, it's just really everyone you would expect to see them.
Yeah, there's not really any surprises to it, is there?
No.
One that I didn't think they'd do though, they've obviously included one or two, like they've included separately Cactus Jack, Dude Love and Mankind.
Yeah, hopefully they do make Foley for that.
No, I don't believe they'll make Foley as well, but it's interesting that they've done the three separate people, so you could actually have a triple threat persona matchup.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting, to say the least. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't know what they're gonna do about the Divas or anyone else. I believe that's everything they've got for us. But I'll just maintain, honestly, I'll monitor it for you. See who else we can announce live on the show, because we're back up to live now.
Yeah, we'll just interrupt.
If something comes on, we'll obviously just beep up. But any surprises for you in the Attitude Era Ross list?
Two Triple H's.
Yeah.
And obviously the three faces of Foley as well.
What was that? Sorry.
And the three faces of Foley as well.
Yeah, that was. I didn't expect them to have a Hunter Hearst Helmsley though. That was a bit, not really a wasted pick, but if you think, obviously they can't have any of the Hardys or any of the Dudleys, which is a sad shame.
Why don't they have Gangrel?
Why don't they have who?
Gangrel.
I don't know. There's missing a few, but I'm hoping and praying there's people like that on DLC.
Yeah. And hopefully they've got Mabel / Mister.
Yeah, they have to do that really. I was a bit surprised to see a normal JBL, but very happy all the same, because obviously they've got They've got a Bradshaw in there as well, which is good. It's good. It's going to be good to have the Acolytes. Only one Undertaker as well. Only the Attitude Era Undertaker is obviously not deemed important enough anymore. So, pardon?
Segment 3 for him. Can I do this bit?
Yeah, of course you can.
Right, here we go. Full board. Yeah. Ring Shield. The Rock. Andrew. Santorella doing his power walk around the room. Sheamus, and he speared him through the barricade. Alberto Del Rio. A little, I don't remember the word. Never mind. Sin Cara doing his like thing on the drum into the ring. Epico. Ted DiBiase. Triple H. 3 Triple H's.
Oh, there we go.
Undertaker.
Bald.
Jinder
Oh,
Mahal.
for fuck's sake.
Wade Barrett.
Yes!
Yes. Zack Ryder. With a phone. Alicia Fox. Beth Phoenix. Brie Bella. Kelly. Norma. Nikki Bella. Rita.
What?
AJ Lee. Roger Lamar.
DLC.
CM Punk.
Had to be CM Punk.
You get the ice cream thing t-shirt. Well,
Is that everything, or have we got a few more?
oh, this said there's 4 parts, I think they said.
Oh well, obviously we'll have a second Attitude Era at one to update you on, but my mistake for jumping the gun and assuming that was all. I can't believe how many big names I missed out there. But yeah,
That's Ryback.
as CJ said, obviously we've just heard, you've got all them announced now. Obviously, big names there. A couple of new things you can do. Obviously, with Sheamus putting
Oh. It'll stand out.
Del Rio through.
Obviously, stage interruption. Education should anyway.
You're
Sure.
welcome. Bit of Sandown promotion here.
When I first ever heard his team, I just thought, no way is Christian using his own team again. But then I remember it's they say Christian 3 times.
Here he is.
Sorry.
Just for those not watching, obviously we have Damien Sandow live. Should I crank the volume a little bit for listening to his speech? What do we think?
Yeah, I think you should.
There's Damien Sandow, guys.
Please remain silent, I have something to say. Allow me today to indulge in for one moment. My name is Damien Sandow, and this afternoon I am the harbinger of good news to each and every one of you.
He's holding the
In a game
microphone like a white
that
glass.
has the slogan, Live the Revolution, I am here to make an announcement that will revolutionize the very gaming world itself. Please remain silent. May I continue? You're not going to stop, are you? You are all embarrassing yourselves and proving my point exactly. You know, I actually want to hear what he has to say, but before I hear what he has to say, I thought I was an idiot for wearing jeans in this heat. This guy comes out in a robe. I will have you know that this is Egyptian cotton. It whips the heat away. Thank you very much. All right. Wait. Does everybody want to hear what Damien Sandow has to say? Oh, you don't? You are all acting like children. It is my esteemed privilege to announce on this, the 18th day of the 8th month in the year 2012, I, Damien Sandow, have made my debut as a downloadable character in WWE 13.
Interesting.
Which means no longer will you tirelessly waste your hours in front of a television screen. Now you can play as me and further enrich the cause of all of your lives. Present company included. You're welcome.
Interesting to hear EC Dub chants for some strange reason.
Woohoo!
But
Well,
that's,
isn't that when you do extreme reunion? It's awful. I'll be very inspired if I get tickets.
that was of course Damien Sandow announcing he's going to be a DLC. What do we think of that then, CJ?
I'm liking the game.
I'm very intrigued, very intrigued to say the least. It was a good little segment, I suppose, to bring him out, announce himself, being who he is. Just waiting on what I believe is this last part now. Which, you want me to do it again then, CJ?
Yeah.
When obviously we get it live.
Yeah. Let's try and get it live this time. Mine's at the top of the region. It's not that live, so it's live now.
We're all queued up now, so it should be live when they go to it. Obviously, for anyone watching or listening at the moment, you've got CM Punk having a little chat, but we heard Sandow live, all the way over from America at the SummerSlam Fan Access, which is where this has been now. Okay, no worries. Just, of course, waiting now on what I believe is going to be the possibly DLCs or even more Attitude Era superstars, as I've mentioned, but I'm quite intrigued by the roster list they've given me so far. I will definitely be buying the game, personally. I think WWE 12 is alright in itself, but I'm very happy to see the Attitude Era in WWE 13. It's going to be fantastic to say the least. And just CM Punk's now, I think he's just leaving as his music's queuing. I think he's just leaving after talking for a while. Obviously he's got his SummerSlam match tomorrow. I do hope to touch upon a bit of a SummerSlam preview if I have time before the end of the show. We shall see what time allows me to do, because obviously we're hanging on to see if we can get any more announcements live. But interesting, very interesting. Not much longer left now. CJ will be back as soon as he possibly can. Well, I have. I'll just quickly, in the time I've got, give you a. I'm not too sure if that's all now for the announcements. I think CJ, I think that's everyone now. Yeah, that's the roster reveal done now, interestingly enough. So we'll try and get a full list to you as we can. So, well, obviously, I'll wait upon CJ. I'll get previewing a couple of SummerSlam matches that are coming up. It's SummerSlam on Sunday. Obviously, I'll be watching, but first of all, one of the SummerSlam pre-show match on the live stream, it sees Antonio Cesaro taking on none other than Santino Marella for the United States Championship. Sorry about that, for the United States Championship. Cesaro, I hope to God, wins, because Santino Marella's a joke United States Championship competitor and he's hardly defending it, which is why I'm so happy he finally has a title defense. Hopefully it'll give Cesaro a little push, see where he goes with it. He's been very impressive on SmackDown as of late, or seeming to be very impressive, of course. So as we wait for CJ's return, I obviously think this match is going to be an interest. It's one of the better pre-shows that I've seen at the pay-per-views so far this year for WWE. But again, as it usually goes on a pre-show, there's no shock results. It's always the favourite that wins it. But maybe, just maybe, there's a surprise or two coming. Next matchup on the actual match card of SummerSlam is the Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus the Primetime Players. For the belts, can Primetime Players, now sadly without AW, finally knock off the Tag Champs? We shall see. Obviously, there's been heat there for quite a couple of weeks. They've had quite a few title shots, so I don't understand why they keep repeatedly getting it. But in terms of the tag division, I don't know what else is out there for them currently. There's no one else really to challenge, so you might as well just keep giving the Primetime Players shots. But personally, I see this match going the way of the Primetime Players. I think now's the time they will finally win. Because they can't keep having Kofi and R-Truth win every single title shot the Primetime Players get. They're obviously getting shots for a reason, so I would assume naturally that it's the Primetime Players' time. But we shall see, of course. Next matchup announced on the card for SummerSlam is the Intercontinental Champion The Miz taking on the returning Rey Mysterio, which obviously was announced on Twitter via AJ Lee. And I believe, if I'm not sure, this is also for the championship. Yes, it is. It is for the title. Rey Mysterio's return. Can he knock off the new, returned himself recently, The Miz? After what seemed an impressive push The Miz was getting, he seems to have done nothing but lose when he has the title. So I don't know which way this is going to go. For once, it's not actually an easily predicted match. So we'll see which way this is going to go with WWE. Next matchup we have announced is Daniel Bryan taking on Kane, which Kane seems to just to let you know, CJ will be back soon. He's just got to do something, but I'll let you know now that Kane seems to apparently be Daniel Bryan's anger management therapist, as the whole Daniel Bryan being crazy segment was announced. It was due to that Charlie Sheen apparently, obviously at Raw 1000, was offering Daniel Bryan out, but Kane seems to be Daniel Bryan's. Well, Charlie Sheen could appear in Kane's corner. We yet don't know that, or it could just be a one-on-one. Kane hoping to knock off Daniel Bryan, but again, it seems an alright match card, just on the match, just to get two big names on the match card for SummerSlam. But should be okay. Moving on from that, we have a match I'm very much looking forward to. Despite going into, I'll get CJ back on the line for us, guys. Are you back, CJ?
Yep.
Yep, sorry about that. I've just been running through half of the SummerSlam match card. I just want to I'll finish it off, and then if you want to get the match card up yourself so you can give your opinion on it, now you're back, because I'm just currently up to the Jericho-Ziggler matchup. So if you want to...
I'll get that off then.
Yeah, and I'll just... But yeah, as I was saying, obviously I'm very much looking forward to this, as Jericho and Ziggler look to be quite good opponents. They've been quite good segments with them throughout the month. So hopefully this will be a classic match that possibly, bar the main event, could even steal the show. We shall see. Moving on from that, we have the WWE Championship Triple Threat match, which CM Punk takes on Big Show and John Cena. So, in my opinion, it's again Big Show floating around title opportunities he probably shouldn't be. John Cena has to be involved in the gold, and CM Punk being CM Punk, champion for quite a long time now, since SummerSlam 2011. Not SummerSlam, sorry, Survivor Series 2011. But it it can be an okay match, but I'm not got much hope in it. Hopefully, CM Punk defends this time. I wouldn't like to see either of them two knock him off. I want to see him at least get to 12 months. But obviously, I want him to keep the title for longer, because I desperately want The Rock versus CM Punk at the Royal Rumble. That's something I really want to see. So I'm hoping Punk can keep the title that long. Then after that, we've got Sheamus taking on Alberto Del Rio in a again for like the 9 millionth time. Again, I'm not going to say much about this because I'm not really too happy about it. But again, Sheamus should easily win that, and Del Rio again should be put to the back of the pack. Probably for him only to get another title shot at the next pay-per-view, but hey ho. Just before I move on to the main event, CJ, have you got up the match card? Are you with us? CJ? He doesn't seem to be there just yet. So, in the 5 minutes I have left, I will mention the main event, which is set to be, after what's a hell of a lot of build-up, Triple H versus Brock Lesnar, with Shawn Michaels was supposedly in Triple H's corner, but with that broken arm, supposedly, we'll see what happens with that. I'm very much looking forward to this, partly because I just, sadly, sadly Brock Lesnar is my guilty pleasure. I love seeing him perform. It was an amazing match against Cena at Extreme Rules. Again, he should have won that, but the way the cookie crumbles. But I'm definitely.
Stupid TV. Sorry about that one, Mike. Just fell out.
It's okay, but I'm definitely looking forward to this match, and it should be a great match. Hopefully, the right outcome, which for me would be a Lesnar win. Have you got the match card up now, then, CJ?
I'm still looking for it.
It's okay. I can talk all night. That's basically the SummerSlam preview from my side.
Oh no, go away. I just clicked on the wrong one.
In the couple of minutes we have left, I'm hopefully going to get CJ's views for you, but while we have CJ with us, I will ask the question that we've been asked. What do you think will happen, and why do you want it to happen with Triple H versus Brock Lesnar? That's a question from Lee Whitaker. CJ?
I'm hoping that Lesnar will win, but I highly doubt it. But I think Triple H will win just because he's Triple H and he's semi-retired.
Well, Triple H is the king of burying people, as we all know.
Yeah.
Well, I'll give you some of the matches, as you've obviously not got the match card up in front of you. What do you think about the pre-show, which is Santino Marella versus Antonio Cesaro?
Has that happened yet?
That's the pre-show for the United States Championship on SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, I thought it had already happened though.
Not for the belt, I don't think. I know they've faced a few times.
I think it is for the belt though. Hopefully, if it is for the belt, Cesaro will win. I hope, but Santino will win.
What are your thoughts on the tag match for the title once again? Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus the Primetime Players.
I want PTP to win.
Yeah, I'm sure we all do out there. And Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Rey Mysterio. What's your thoughts on that?
Miz will win, but I would like Mysterio to win actually. And I would like the old Intercontinental Championship back as well.
Well, one of those could happen, but I don't think the other will.
I know.
What about Kane, Daniel Bryan? What's your thoughts on that?
I think it'll be a Kane domination, and then I bet AJ comes out or something, and then so someone will come out, and then Kane will get distracted, and then Daniel Bryan will pick up the win, I reckon.
Quite possibly. Quickly, Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler.
I really don't know who's going to win this one, but I think I actually really don't know.
Fair play, I'm the same. It's a very tough one to call, but I went with Ziggler. Triple Threat Championship match, Punk versus Cena and Big Show.
I think Punk will win, but if Cena wins, I'm going to outrage.
Quite possible. And Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I would like Del Rio to win it.
Interesting
so finally
call.
they can put him up to all this hype that they've been giving him.
Very interesting call. I'm fine with Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I know you touched upon it very quickly, but
Triple H to bury Brock Lesnar.
I'll just quickly answer Lee's question. Yeah, I want Brock Lesnar to win, but I don't believe he will. I believe Triple H will win again just to bury it. But as Matt Towers wrote in his blog, I believe Lesnar needs to win this one. I just want to thank anyone for joining us, guys. I hope you had a good time tonight, and I want to thank CJ for coming on the show. Thanks for listening.
It's a pleasure.